and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I thought I would do a video that I found really helpful watching when I was pregnant and wanting to know what things I would need for baby, and that is my top 10 newborn essentials. So these are all the things I either had before Wilf was born that I bought, or I bought after he was born, that I have found completely invaluable in these first like 6 weeks that I've had him. So yeah, I'm just going to run through them in no particular order and kind of talk you through the top 10 things. Some of them are going to be far too big to hold up and show you, so I will insert some footage at some point during this video. So the first thing I have on my list to show you is and this isn't going to be very helpful, so I'll definitely insert a clip of this, the Kaboo Close, or the Close Kaboo, I don't know which way around it is, but it's a baby carrier anyway. I absolutely love this thing. I always knew I wanted to try some kind of baby carrier wrap, something to be able to carry Wilf around. I don't drive, so when Andrew's at work, a lot of the time I have to get the bus or I have to walk quite far, and having a pram and a dog, and it can all be a bit stressful. So whilst obviously the pram does get a lot of use, more often than not, if I'm out and about on my own, I will be using the wrap, as I find it so much easier. The first couple of times I tried to use this, I found it quite difficult. I didn't know if I had it on properly. I found it a bit stressful. I didn't know if Wilf was like getting squashed or anything. So I found a really good video that showed you how to put it on that I found really useful. So I'm going to link that in the description bar if you want to know how to put this on and how I do it. I just followed the instructions on that video. The Kaboo Close comes in 2 parts and it's just so comfortable. He doesn't feel heavy in it at all as long as you've got it properly on. The weight's distributed really, really well. It's super comfy. It's so soft. It keeps Wilf really warm because it's like an extra layer of fabric, and I just absolutely love it. I'll quite often put it on and then put my coat over the top, and you don't even realise you've got it on, and it just makes life so much easier. I think this was about £60-ish. Originally I always wanted a Tula. I always wanted a Tula baby carrier, but I thought they are so expensive. I think they're a good £150. So before investing in something so expensive, I thought I would get this first, see how he gets on with it, check if he likes it, check if I like it. Thankfully we both absolutely love it. But yeah, the Close Kaboo baby carrier is definitely one of my absolute newborn essentials. I could not be without it. I absolutely love the thing, so that would definitely be in my top 10. The next thing on my list is a thermometer. Originally we bought the Tommy Tippy digital thermometer. I think it's about £30, and I don't like to badmouth things, but do not waste your money. It is rubbish. It never gave us an accurate reading of Wilf's temperature or our temperature or anyone's temperature. It was absolutely rubbish. And then my friend recommended this one to us. I can't remember exactly what it's called. It's a brawn one. We ordered it on Amazon. I will link it below for you because I don't know what the model's called or if they do various different ones. But rather than an in-ear one like the Tommy Tippy one, this is one that you can put under their armpit or under their tongue. We use it under Wilf's armpit, but it is so quick. I know some of them can take a long time. This takes seconds, and it actually you can change the age group on it. So obviously now we've got it set at 0 to 3 because he's only just over a month, but you can set it for 3 to 36 months or 36 plus months, and it kind of tells you whether their temperature is in the safe range for their age group. It flashes green, red or amber. Luckily we've only ever had it flash green so far. Wilf's temperature's been really good. But yeah, it's just so easy to use, and you don't have to worry about checking, oh, 36.8 or whatever, is that a safe reading? Because it flashes green, you know straight away. And it's just so easy. And this was like £11 on Amazon. It was an absolute bargain. I just love this thing, and if you're looking for a thermometer, I highly, highly recommend this one. And yeah, I wouldn't waste your money on the Tommy Tippy digital one because it's a bit poo, and this is brilliant and does the job at 1/3 of the price. My third newborn essential is Sleepsuits with built-in scratch mitts. I always heard before I was pregnant people going on about Next Sleepsuits and saying Next Sleepsuits are the best ones, they wash so nicely, blah blah blah. Obviously I'd never had a baby, so I didn't have a clue. They all felt the same to me, to be honest, but Next are far superior. They all have the built-in scratch mitts. These are just a few of ours here. They fit really well, they wash so nicely, they're so soft, really thick and lovely quality. I'll just quickly flick through these, although if you watch any of my hauls you will have seen them before. We've got this one with bears on, we've got this one like monochrome clouds, and we've got this one that's just like red and cream stripe, but they're just so good. The scratch mitts make life so much easier. I bought a few pairs of separate scratch mitts before when I was pregnant, and thought we'd use them loads, but they just get lost, they fall off, they're absolutely pointless, to be honest. I wouldn't recommend them at all. I would just get these Sleepsuits with built-in scratch mitts. Wilf claws his face. He is absolutely terrible for it. He just scratches his face. As soon as he's a little bit upset, he's just like, so these are absolutely brilliant. They make life so much easier. We try not to put them down in the daytime because obviously he needs to use his hands and get used to feeling things, but at night time we always put the scratch mitts down because when we're asleep he likes to claw his face. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Sleepsuits with built-in scratch mitts, specifically the Next ones, but I also have found the Mamas and Papas ones really, really good as well. They're really nice quality and they all have the built-in scratch mitts too. But yeah, they would definitely be a newborn essential, and something I would highly, highly recommend. My fourth newborn essential is a very small, cheap one, and that is this Metanium Everyday Barrier Nappy Cream. I've been through a few nappy creams, but this one is by far my favourite one we've used. I put it on pretty much every time I change his nappy, just a little bit, and he has had no nappy rash since. He had quite bad nappy rash at first, but this stuff is just amazing and he hasn't had any nappy rash since we've been using it. We order it on Amazon, and I think for a big tube like that it's like £4 or £5. Again, I will link it below. But this one's brilliant, and it's also lanolin free. I don't know if Wilf is allergic to lanolin, but I'm allergic to lanolin and I've not risked using anything with it in it yet. But yeah, this one's lanolin free and there's not much to say about it. It's just a nappy cream, but you get a great amount, it's really affordable, and we haven't had any nappy rash at all since getting it. So yeah, I would highly, highly recommend that to have in your changing bag. My fifth newborn essential is sleeping bags. I am very, well, I was very stressy in pregnancy, as you all know if you watch my videos normally, and I kind of anticipated that would carry on once I'd had Wilf, and actually I'm far more relaxed than I ever thought I would be, but I still don't feel comfortable using blankets at night time. I get so scared that they're going to come up over his face and I'll be asleep and won't know it, and yeah, not nice things would happen. So we have used sleeping bags ever since Wilf has been born. The ones we have had that are suitable as soon as they are born are these ones from the Grow company, and they are called, it's Grow Bag, but I think these ones are called the Grow Snug. They're like the little swaddle ones. We have two of these and absolutely love them. They have the poppers at the side here, as you can see, and you can either have their arms in and those poppers done up, so if they like being swaddled, or if like Wilf and they don't like being swaddled, you can undo that and they can have their arms out like a normal Grow Bag. They're super thick and lovely. They come in two different togs, I think. This is the like warm one for winter and they do a light one for summer, I think. But obviously we just got these ones because he's an autumn winter baby. And I just absolutely love them. We get on so well with them. Wilf really likes them. We have two, so we always have one at the go, one in the wash. And I just absolutely love it. I think you can get them in various different designs, but obviously we just went for plain grey because I just think I'm really fussy and I'm like, it won't clash with any of his Sleepsuits then. How sad is that? But yeah, they're just brilliant, and I think these go up to 6 months. But I've also recently got a snuzz pouch. We've got this cloud print one. Full disclosure, I was sent this. I feel really fancy saying that because frankly I've never been sent anything before, so I'm super grateful that they wanted to send me this. I think that's amazing. I've tried it on him, but we haven't properly started using it yet because I think he will get a lot longer out of this than he will out of the Grow Snug, so I think whilst we can get wear out of the Grow Snug, we'll probably use those for a little while. But I've tried him on it, he seems to really like it. It's really comfy, really thick and padded, and you can get them in various different designs. Obviously we have a snus pod, which, spoiler alert, will be coming up in this video. I absolutely love our snus pod. So yeah, this is the snus pouch that goes along with it, and it is really good because it's got this zip that goes around here, so you can change them in the night without having to take them out of it and getting them all stressed, which I think is genius. So yeah, we just get on really well with sleeping bags. They are much more comforting to use, I think, than a blanket, which for a new mum can be quite scary when you're worried you haven't tucked it in properly. So yeah, I would definitely recommend a sleeping bag of some description for your newborns. My 6th newborn essential, and I don't know if I'm going to fit this in the camera, but I'm going to give it a go, is our Snuggle Baby Bath. If you watch my vlogs or my updates on Wilf, I rave about this thing. I absolutely love it, and more importantly, Wilf absolutely loves it. It is obviously a baby bath. Again, I will insert some footage of Wilf in this so you can see how happy he is in there. He absolutely loves it. This is about £20 normally, but I've seen them on offer for 15 before, and I just think they're brilliant. We were between that and the Angel Care bath support, I think it is, the one you see a lot of people have that's like perforated. But I liked this one because you fill it in any room, so it just takes a kettle's worth of water basically. So you use a lot less water, but also you can use it in any room. Our bathroom's quite cold, so I wouldn't want him to have a bath in there just yet, whereas we can use this in front of our log burner if it's really cold, or just in our living room with the heating on. And he just loves it. He's so happy in there. It has this bum support here, so you can sit them in it and you can take your hands away. When Wilf was really tiny, when he had his first bath, we did still have to hold his head up because it was kind of like flopping all over the place a little bit. But now he's about 6 weeks old, we can pretty much leave him and sat in there, and he is happy as Larry. He absolutely loves it. And yeah, we just absolutely love it. I think it is the best £20 we've possibly ever spent. I was worried that Wilf would hate bath time, and being such a bath fanatic myself, I was determined he was going to like bath time, and he loves that bath. And I just think, I know it's not something we should care about, but I'm quite like into like my home interiors. I like my house to look a certain way, and I just think this is quite like aesthetically pleasing, whereas some of the baby baths I've seen and some of the bath supports I've seen are quite like, not a lot's kind of gone into the thought of the design of how they actually look, and this is super practical. I'm going all echoey. This is super practical in the sense that it has everything you would need it to have and more with this bum support, but it also just looks quite cool. It looks quite nice. I don't mind having it out in my house because I think it looks quite nice. So yeah, that would definitely be a huge newborn essential for me, and I would recommend this to anyone. And I think this is the perfect kind of like baby shower gift. Yeah, I would recommend this to anyone. I absolutely love it. And the day Wilf grows out of his Snuggle Baby Bath will be a very sad day, in my opinion. I've completely lost track of what number I'm on, so I'm not going to carry on saying numbers. But my next newborn essential is something I do not have to physically show you. I can't lift it up, but I will insert some footage, and it's something I've already mentioned, and that is our snus pod. I love our snus pod. So obviously they kind of seem to be everywhere, so I'm sure you've all heard of them, but it is a co-sleeper, and you can either have it as a separate crib or you can have it attached to your bed with the side down, so you are super close to your baby and essentially co-sleeping, but without any risk of like rolling over and squashing your baby basically. It is a much safer way to co-sleep. We have ours attached to the side of our bed just down here, and I have the side down all of the time. Wilf definitely likes to be able to kind of know he's really near me, and I like it too. It's really comforting. I can easily just put my hand across if he's upset or a bit unsettled and just kind of calm him down and soothe him without having to get out of bed or without having to kind of reach over. I just absolutely love it. I think they're well worth the money. I think they look beautiful. I know there's a lot of other co-sleepers out there. I know is it Chico next to me is super popular, and I've heard great things about that as well. But just personally for me, I way prefer the design and the look of the snus pod. I think it fits in our bedroom a lot better than the next to me would. And they're a very similar price, so I think with that you can kind of just come down to what you prefer the look of. And this swiftly takes me on to my next newborn essential, which is the Sleepyhead, which again, super popular. If you're having a baby, if you've got a baby, you're going to have heard of the Sleepyhead. It is, I think, the only sleep aid approved for safe sleeping, so personally that was the only one I was going to consider. And I just love it. Wilf is so settled in it. At first, when I saw the price, I thought, this is just a cushion. How can they possibly justify that price? But it is so much more than a cushion. He is so settled in it, so comfy. We use the Sleepyhead at night inside the snus pod, just so he feels kind of extra snug and comfy and cozy and like tucked up. But then we also take the Sleepyhead out during the day and we'll put it on the sofa in the living room, we'll put it on the kitchen table if we're cooking dinner. It's just brilliant, it's so easy to carry around, and I just could not recommend it enough. We actually have a spare cover for ours as well that my auntie very kindly bought us when Wilf was born, so it's super handy to have a spare cover that we can just stick on if he's sick or any leakage from the nappy happens, and we can just whip that off and put the new one on and the cover just goes straight in the washing machine, so it's really easy. So yeah, I love them both separately. I love the Sleepyhead and I love the snus pod, but together they are a match made in heaven, I think. My penultimate newborn essential would be and I don't know how you say this, is it Graco or Graco? Comment below and let me know because I don't have a clue. I'm just going to call it the Graco, and it's the Move With Me chair. So it is like a chair that moves from side to side. So the other ones we looked at that were available were the Nuna Leaf, but the Nuna Leaf is anywhere from £150 to £200 and doesn't have a motor. You have to buy that separately. So it kind of moves on its own for a minute, and then it stops and you have to push it again, which I think for that price, as beautiful as I think the Nuna Leaf is, it's so aesthetically pleasing. I just think for that price to have to keep pushing it yourselves or spend an additional £75 on a motor, I think it's just really expensive. The other one we looked at was the Mamaroo, which I think is about £250, but basically does everything. But, and this sounds really bad because I know it shouldn't be something that matters, but I just don't like the look of the Mamaroo. I think for £250 I'd want it to look stunning, and I just don't think it does. It doesn't fit in with our house at all. It's very like bright and garish and big and in your face, and I just didn't want to spend £250 on something that I didn't like. So yeah, they were the two we were looking at, and then we came across the Graco Move With Me, which I think is, I can't remember the price, but again I will link it below. I'm pretty sure it's cheaper than both of those though. And it is a chair, very similar. It's kind of a hybrid of the two. It moves side to side like they both do, but it does have a built-in motor. It has built-in white noise. You can plug your phone in and play music or whatever through the chair. And yeah, you push it to set it off, but then it stays moving because it's plugged in and it keeps it moving, and you can adjust the speed and things. And I just love it. Wilf is so settled in there. If he's kicking off and I can't settle him, I will put him in that chair and it does its magic. It is so good, and I just think it looks a lot nicer than a lot of them. It's quite neutral. It came with some toys on that I'm not that keen on, so I'm going to get my mum to crochet some like more in our style toys to hang on it. But at the moment he's 6 weeks old and he's not that bothered about playing with toys and things anyway, so we've just had it plain as it is and he just absolutely loves it. It fits in our living room perfectly nicely. It doesn't kind of stick out as a kid. It fits in our living room perfectly. It doesn't like stick out as a kind of really bright out of place toy that wouldn't fit in our living room. And I just really like it, and I think it's well worth the money. So if you're looking at the Nuna Leaf or you're looking at the Mamaroo, which are definitely probably the two most popular ones I would say, I would recommend having a look at the Graco Move With Me, which I think is a little more under the radar, but I personally love it and get on with it really, really well. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that to chill your baby out, and that is the only time I get to eat. If I need to eat my tea and Andrew's at work, you know he's going in that chair so I can eat my food. My last newborn essential is not going to be relevant to everyone. If you breastfeed actually from the boob, then this isn't going to be relevant, but if you express or if you formula feed, this is something I would really recommend, and it's helped us massively when Wilf has been quite colicky and gets quite a lot of wind. And they are the Dr. Brown's anti-colic bottles. I've just washed this one so it looks a bit wet, but they have the, oh, if I can take the lid off, they have the, let me take it apart so you can see, they have this inside. I don't know any of the science about it, so again I will link these below so you can read up, but whatever that does to stop them getting colic, I think it stops so many bubbles and things going in, so there's less like bubbles and wind for them to take in, but that just goes on there, and then you have a normal teat, which Wilf gets on really well with. He's had no problems. We were on the Tommy Tippy bottles before, which we are going to keep for when kind of colic is less of an issue when he's a little bit older, but for now we're solely using these, and he has gone across from the Tommy Tippy teats to these ones with no problem at all. And yeah, we have noticed a noticeable difference in kind of like his wind and his colic since getting these bottles. They are more expensive than the Tommy Tippy ones, but if you've got a colicky baby, you know you will pay, it doesn't matter. I think we've paid about £6 per bottle, and we have 3 that we just rotate and keep sterilised at all times. So yeah, these are brilliant. The lid's really good as well. I know this sounds like a silly thing to be bothered about, but on the Tommy Tippy bottles I found that the lids come off quite easily, whereas this is quite difficult, as you can see, to get off. They're very sturdy, so if you're carrying that around in your changing bag, I can't get it back on. If you were carrying that around in your changing bag, it's not going to leak, it's not going to go anywhere. They're really, really sturdy. So yeah, I would totally recommend them. Again, put it at the end because I know they're not going to be relevant for everyone if you are nursing, but if you are bottle feeding in whatever capacity, I would really, really recommend these bottles. And that is the end of the video. That is all 10 newborn essentials. I have also been thinking about filming a similar video, but things we haven't got on with. Let me know what you think about that, because I know that would be quite a negative video, so not everyone's going to like that, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to go and waste my money on things if I knew beforehand they weren't going to be worth it. So if you want to see that, let me know and I will film that for you. And I will leave it there and see you all in my next video. Bye guys!